Hello everyone, in this lecture we will see one example for special function. Let's create a class distance and here I'll add these two properties in distance, kilometer and meters. So self.kilometer, I'll initialize this first. Okay, and let me create one more method here to display these two kilometers and meter. So I'll print kilometer, meter, all right. I'll call this distance 10 kilometer, 400 meters, and let's display. First run it and test. Now it's working. Now what if I have to add two instances of the class, two different instances? So I'll create one more here, D2, and distance 20 kilometers, 300 meters. Now here in D3 I'll try to add D1 plus D2. So is it possible? Can we do this? Can we add two objects here? Let me print D3. Now let's run this and check. So once you run, you can see the error here. Type error, unsupported operand type. So we cannot combine these two instances here. If it is integer, string or number, this float value, it will work. So why it is not working? The reason is we must override a method, okay, to achieve this. That is a special method. Let's do that. So I'll call this add method. This is a special method because 2 times underscore, it starts with 2 times underscore, and see the parameter here, self and other. So it is expecting two instances of this class. So to make it simple, I'll just write here kilometer, self dot kilometer, and this other instance, other dot kilometer. So what I'm trying to do is to add this kilometer and meters so that we can store in D3. Now here on this place, on D1 we pass D2. Okay, so this is a plus. So it will call this add method. So D2, D1 will be a self and D2 represented by this other. So self.kilometer plus other.kilometer, store in this variable. Same thing I'll do for meter. Self.meters plus this other object dot meter. Okay. Now because this has to return the object, this you can see here, D3, right? Whatever it will return, that will store in D3. So I'll create here one more instance, return what type, distance, and here kilometer and meter, pass these values. So it will create one instance of type distance and it will return it so that we can store in D3. Now let's test this code. This time you will not get any error because we are overridden. This method is overridden here and it will call add. And it will print, it will add these 2 kilometer and meters. Let's run this. You can see here kilometer 30, 700 meters. So 10 plus 20, 400 plus 300. So this way we can override the method here, add. Now here small issue, let's change it to 900. Now in this case it will not give a proper output 1300 meters because we are dealing with kilometers. It should return 31 kilometers 300 meters. 1000 kilometers is equals to 1 kilometer. So how to implement that? So you can try it yourself how to do this. You can pause the video and then try. Okay, now let's see the solution here. Now we know that if meter is more than 1000, so meters greater than equals to 1000, what we have to do? Meters just minus 1000, and in that case kilometer, which is in K, incremented by 1. That's it. If it is more than 1000, subtract this 1000 and in kilometer add it, and see here, now it works. Now let's see one more operator here. Let's compare it. So can we compare? Let's comment this part. Okay, what if I want to compare? If D1 greater than D2, I'll print, let's print D1 greater than D2. Else I'll print D2 greater than D1. So is it possible? Now if I run again, you will get error here. See, not supported. It's not possible. You cannot compare two different objects instances here, but we can override this method. So let's see how to do that. Here we have one special method. This is comparison, so less than or greater than. So we are using greater than, right? So G greater than, GE means greater than equals to. So I am looking for greater than. So GT. Alright. Now here also you can see it is expecting two parameters, two different instances here, self and other. But we know that when we compare this condition, it is expecting Boolean value, true or false. So we must return here bool value. So let's test. If self dot kilometer is greater than other dot kilometer, what I can do, I'll return true, else I can return false. Now here I am comparing only kilometer, right? What if kilometers are equal? That case you can go for meters, then you can compare meters. Okay, that you can try yourself. It's a very simple example. So I'm just showing that how this works. So you can complete this program where if kilometers are equal, then you go for meters and check if they are equal or not, if or which one is greater. So you can return true or false according to that. Okay, now let's test it. Because it will return true and false, it is greater than. So in this case, it will call that method greater than. Now let's run this and see here D2 is greater than, D2 is greater than D1. Now let's change it. I'll give here 40. In this case, it will print D1 is greater. D1 is greater. Very basic example how these comparison operators work and how these arithmetic operators. Those who knows C++, they know that how we implement these things. We have to write a lot of code here. But in Python, it's very easy and it's very straightforward. Just method is there, implement, override it and write the logic here. Alright, so you can try some other functions here. Just check it and see here. The list is long. Okay, so many methods are there.